Awesome. And then Sharon, who's one of our local experts. Sharon's a performance coach who's been a successful businesswoman for the last 25 years in the events and logistics business. And Sharon was sharing some stats with me where she's had done 12,000 events over a 25-year period. Some of those events with up to 40,000 participants arriving on scene. So if you wanted to be assured that someone needs to perform, it's someone who has 40,000 people arriving at the same spot on the same day at the same time. So Sharon, welcome, and really excited to hear your take on performance as we go through today.
Thanks, Duncan. It's great to be in the presence of so many great leaders this afternoon. So I'm the one that's privileged. Thank you.
Oh, you're very humble. Reflection number one probably is to say, what does my performance improvement plan look like? And not let performance improvement in the workspace be for those who are struggling. So each of us out there should have, this is how I'm going to actively improve my performance this year. And if I do that, then I'm pretty confident that the results will follow. So Keith, thank you. That was awesome. I'm very keen to hear Sharon's kind of take on performance. So Sharon, 25 years of founding and running a successful events and logistics business. What has that taught you about performance?
Thanks, Duncan. In my business, results definitely matter. Without them, my business might have failed. But through experience, I've learned performance matters too. In fact, it was key to my success of my career and my business, and the reason why I'm an inner performance coach today. I found that focusing on results can be unpredictable, and it's tough to recover from a disappointing outcome when your only focus is results. The team end up feeling deflated, and it becomes difficult to get motivation again. I've learned I need to consider our values, performance, and the results if I'm going to show true leadership. I was just speaking to a close colleague and a friend of mine who's been part of my business for over 10 years now. I think she's actually in on the conversation today, and about what I would have done differently. And for me, it would have been the times I compromised our values to gain a result. So this led to me making bad choices. I let our values slide to push the results, breaking some of the rules. These times broke my team, and I'll never compromise on that again. It just made me realize that leadership can have a significant impact on performance and on the people around me. For me, I realized leadership is my behavior. It's not just my title. So for me, it's been about what your organization stands for. It's important because it guides our choices.
Sharon, you mentioned something really in my head, a nice little framework there. So be guided by values, be obsessed with the process of performance, and then factor in results. Obviously, results are important. No one here on the call is saying that they're not. So is that kind of is that summarized? If you were giving a message to the leaders out there, what would you think is important for leaders to embrace right now?
Yes, Duncan, I found that working in various organizations and with my own team, when you spend some valuable time, specific time, ensuring there is a shared understanding and a collaboration around the result that is required, being really clear, and then drive those results through breathing life into culture, values, and performance, then this prepares the people to help themselves for the conditions that they are likely to face. The more ready everyone feels, the more likely they are to perform. And as a consequence, will drive the results. Over the past months, there's been many times that I have felt at a loss. And I'm sure many of you may have felt this too, given the past year's challenges. But when I refocus, realign, and regain that clarity, the results follow. For me, it's the most important thing right now would be to just lead from a place of clarity.
Wonderful. Awesome. And yeah, that clarity sounds like it's it's a good place to be from. So clear on your values, clear on your definition of performance. As Keith said, the one we use is doing the things that you need to do, making sure that you know what those things are, and then those will lead you to the result that you're looking for. So Sharon, can you give us a quick your take? You mentioned some downsides of results focused only. What was your experience in that with businesses within your business and in businesses that you were partnering with?
Yes, Duncan. The stories Keith was telling there, it actually takes me back to some of the experiences that I had. I didn't have bosses. My clients were my bosses. And there was two experiences that come to mind, two big projects that we were working on for a client, delivering hospitality at, the one was the SA Golf Open, and the other one was an international rugby festival. And the client's main focus was on results. This was a huge investment and they had to show ROI. So it was all about bums on seats and customers in queues. So we focused on results. My team had to kick up into overdrive to deliver. We focused on quantity, delivery, instead of quality. Almost every hour we were pushed harder, how are we doing? How much turnover have you done? With all of this, we dropped the ball with what was actually important, like the customer. Not only the customer, but we had a team that was totally burnt out with little energy for the next project. So yes, the result was there, but at what cost? So what Keith mentioned really resonates. And in my experience, I found organizations that aren't focused on performance struggle when they have a single measure of success. So when under pressure or the conditions change, they go into survival mode. Rather than how good can we be, teams become overwhelmed and the results become unproductive and poorer. So that really resonated with me.
So Sharon, give us your, the performance readiness, those 6 kind of elements that we've established. Are there any that you think are done really well, or you think there are a few that are left out? What's your take on that?
Definitely, Duncan. In my experience working with various organizations and within my own business, I've learned that overlooking certain performance areas can impact more than just the results. If I can share, you mentioned some of the big events that we've done in the past. We were contracted to do the logistics for one of South Africa's biggest festivals, with over 30,000 participants across a week of events. So the logistics were huge. The focus was always more on tactical and technical. Logistically, we were so ready to deliver the best events ever. But a few days in, we were hit with a stomach virus that ripped through our team. So we underestimated any contextual change, and the physical impact really knocked the team to breaking point. The learning was around our weakness in contextual readiness. And when the conditions changed, we were not prepared. So through our experiences like this one, working on the weaknesses in the performance pie, as Keith mentioned, as an individual or as a team, improves performance and ultimately the results. So the evidence shows it's different in each organization. Some may be really strong technically or tactically, but seriously lacking in support areas, where others may be lacking in contextual readiness. In this case, for your organization, as your performance experts, we would be recommending that you look to work as a team or organization to find these and implement the necessary changes to get all these parts consistently glued together. It's really speaking to one another.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of, that rounded approach that you've just both described. In the world of work, I would imagine many of the kind of performance readiness elements is attend a lot of meetings, send a lot of emails and reply to as many as you can, late at night, early morning, we don't care, and make a lot of sales calls is kind of the singular focus that I guess a lot of people are kind of bombarded with. So this approach, I think, is so helpful for everyone out there to be able to say, right, what are the skills and what are the technical requirements I have to do well in my job. The tactical is, how am I going to deploy those? What am I going to do with them? What is the best way of using my skills and the resources available to me in a tactical and strategic way? And then, burnout is a massive topic. So the physical readiness is making sure that you have this platform, that you're going to be around this time next year to continue delivering for the company, continue delivering for your within your role, and we could go around the whole pie. But I think when you start talking about it a little bit more, it becomes so obvious at how many business teams just need some work with this kind of holistic view of helping people be ready to perform. So Sharon, if the leaders on the call who want to bring some performance thinking into their team, into their business, what would be your advice for them?
So Duncan, I'm just going to reiterate really what Keith said, and really when leaders lead through performance, when they're ready, they feel equipped and confidence, and they provide the support required, it generates a sense of confidence that the people they lead can do this. They deliver consistently in performance. Having this approach in place, which is often supported by performance experts, providing the programs that support performance for their people and not just tracking results, it brings about a performance culture. The experience for the people is a healthy obsession. It results in an increased ability to cope. They grow their resources, they feel more in control, confident, and they develop a high performance culture. So the benefits are great. If we invest in our people's performance and well-being, we seek to grow them so that they can be consistent in reviewing their own performance and apply it daily. That's lovely. It from me.
Yeah, lovely. And I think you said something there which kind of reiterates the point from earlier, is that we don't want to add more complexity to people's thinking about their performance. So our role is to help them with the simplicity of these frameworks that can really be practical and applied, and they can look at this stuff and use it today and actively grow their confidence, get more clarity on the process of performance for themselves. And I think that's really important. Keith, I don't see any more questions coming in the chat box. So folks, thank you for joining us. We've really enjoyed it. Sharon, myself and Keith will stay on for a few minutes if there's any questions you'd like to direct specifically at us.